The Music Retail Show.
All right, hey, we are back for another episode, and Richard, I have to say this is actually one of the first times we've ever done what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, you're making me nervous sitting so close to me.
I know.
It's used to you be across.
We're set up a little different. We're set up a little different.
I know what it means. It means that we are Skyping in with a great friend, and hope everybody can see Seb over here. We got Seb from Reverb.
That's right.
So today is going to be super fun. We're Skyping. This is our first time Skyping. I'm a little nervous, but I have a lot of confidence in Ian. And it's going to be a blast. Seb is the greatest guy in the world.
Easy to talk to.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on with you both.
Yes, well,
happy to be your first guinea for the video chat too.
I know.
You are. So yeah, this is going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But before we start, I want to ask one question. How's your family?
Family's doing fantastic. Trying to figure out what to get the oldest for Christmas. We had her writing down a little list for Santa Claus, and all she could write was a blue turtle. So, now, has any suggestions?
Now, how old is she?
3.5.
3.5.
Is she really that old?
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness, I did not think that, because I remember when you couldn't make it out here.
That was kid number 2.
Oh, was it?
Two,
so you have
right.
2. Wow,
2
congratulations.
Girls.
Awesome.
2 summers ago,
you're
right?
going to have another one, don't you?
Oh, God. The wife is on the fence about it. I wouldn't mind one, but, I don't have to do a lot of the heavy lifting, so whatever she wants, I'm okay with.
Hey, you have to go from, man-to-man defense to zone. That really shows your parenting skills.
Yeah.
So.
Seb, I see 4 in your future, man.
Oh, 4.
That's the number that settled on early. But
Really?
now that we've had 2, it's like, Chicago's kind of expensive, Like,
I got you. You seem like a guy that can handle 4.
I appreciate that. I think I could, but I need to make a lot more money if I'm a sport.
hey, I'm gonna talk to the owner of Reverb at NAMM for you, man. I'm gonna go to bat for you.
Thanks.
So, yeah. Well, here's something that's crazy, and we'll jump into the podcast. This is more a social side. Today is my grandson's 3rd birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
I have a grandson, dude. You talk about scary.
This is Grandpa right here.
Oh.
Richard, you look great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So,
and I can see that.
Thank you. Well, what's funny is when he came over a while ago, and I just wasn't paying attention, and I hear Grandpa, and I'm doing stuff. I stopped and go, he's talking to me. You talk about scary. The first time it hits you, because what is a grandpa supposed to feel like? I don't know. I'm like, hey, you want to go ride the 4-wheeler? You want to go play in the mud? I mean, that's what I think. But
at the same time, you love it.
Oh, yeah. He's great. So, super excited. When we get done here, I'm going to call him, wish him a happy birthday, and I'm heading to South Carolina. So, I get to see him, get to hang out with him. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese tomorrow. Ooh, nothing better than that, man. I'm excited. So, anyways.
You want to jump on in?
Yeah, we got to jump in the podcast.
Yeah, let's
I'll
jump
sit
on
here
in.
and talk about
this
kids
is exciting.
and stuff.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal for us because we respect Reverb as a great company. We absolutely do. So we're excited about this, and we've been looking forward to this for several months.
Yeah. Long time coming. Happy that we're finally here doing it.
Yeah, good. Well, Seb, give us a little bit of backstory of your history. 2 questions. I want to know how long Reverb has been Reverb, and we'll dive deeper into that. But particularly you, how long have you been there, and what exactly do you do over there?
All right. So Reverb's been around for about 5-6 years now, which is insane to think that it's only been around that long. A lot of people feel like, hasn't it been around forever at this point in time?
Yeah.
And I've been around coming up on my 3rd year with Reverb. And to me, that's even crazier to think that now I've been with this company for almost half of its life.
Yeah.
So, dear God, I've had a child during this time. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So in terms of my particular role here is I am the director of seller engagement. So essentially what that means is I'm working with all of our best sellers all around the world to make sure that they are, optimizing their presence on Reverb, trying to help them increase their sell-through, making sure they're listing consistently, almost kind of acting like a Reverb business consultant.
Okay.
And that takes a number of different forms. So like here in the United States, for instance, I'm really making sure that we are working with our best sellers on the platform. And no, not all of them are retailers. We have a number of individuals who, flip gear on the side, and it is a full-time job. Some people do it for hobby. Fantastic. I want to make sure that they have all the tools they need to be successful. And then I'm also doing it internationally as well. So I actually just came back from our Amsterdam office about a month ago, and really work with the team there to make sure that we're figuring out what do German buyer and sellers need? What do French buyer and sellers need?
Wow.
Part of Reverb deal is, we have over 1 million listings available worldwide.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's totally insane. I remember, I accidentally stumbled upon that. I'm like, why haven't we screamed about this? We have 1 million listings on our platform.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Is that go ahead. Was that anywhere near your guys' predictions of what you would be looking forward to in the future? I mean, are you guys ahead of the schedule, or where are you at?
This is probably just more of just a general business thing. When you're growing so fast, it's less of a target and more of a benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't quite know. We're not established. It's not like we've done this for 25 years and we know what levers to pull to grow 3% and all of that. Right now, we are just trying to do as much as we can to get sellers on the platform, to get those items into other buyers' hands wherever they live around the world. We got to 1 million listings, I think, faster than I had anticipated, which is why it snuck up on us.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm sitting here thinking, oh, when are we going to get 2 million?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I want the next 1 million listings to be, just great stuff that I know that people want. This is MI is a crowded market. That's a crowded field. There's a lot of inventory on there that we all know is not going to sell. Sure. I don't want 1 million different color kazoos on the platform. Even though I need the next 1 million listings to be that, just so we get to 2 million.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, tell us the history of how Reverb came to open up into this market.
Absolutely. So our CEO and founder, David Kalt, he had purchased Chicago Music Exchange, several years back. I think over a decade at this point. And Reverb was ultimately born out of his frustrations with buying and selling online, primarily, through eBay at the time. And a large part of that being, eBay is kind of they're our competitors, so I have no problem talking ill about them. But they're kind of a mess, particularly when it comes to when you're searching. If you were to type in Fender on eBay, you're going to get a nice mixture of
everything
picks and guitar parts.
Mm-hmm.
Car parts. Mm-hmm. And it's not really a curated experience. And Reverb was born out of this idea where there are enough musicians in the world, that would come to a website to buy and sell music here, get a load of some great content, get a better understanding of, the market value of whatever it is that they're trying to sell, and really just provide a better experience. And frankly, this isn't really unique to Reverb. There are a lot of real niche marketplaces that, are putting the value beyond just having the lowest price.
Yes.
People are willing to pay for an experience, and people are they want content, they want reasons to keep coming back. And one of my biggest takeaways when I first started working at Reverb was, man, Reverb should be the place charging 10%, not eBay, because we already,
Mm-hmm.
So the fact we can have the lowest, one of the lowest fees in the industry, and still provide that great experience, that's a win-win for everyone, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now was that David's part of his plan?
I don't think so. It's like any sort of innovation, right? It's typically born out of frustration, and then you start trying to figure out what's the best way to move forward. I'm happy to say that DK, while he still owns CME, he's removed from it. He is in the Reverb office every single day. He is our CEO. So it's really nice to kind of have that leadership in house around 24/7, and he's a very present figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long was the process actually? If the frustration started, and then obviously the brainstorming started happening. Walk through that process. How long did that take until you guys hit that button that it went live?
I wasn't there. I wish I was. But the stories that I've heard, it started with a group of 4 or 5 people with the dream of what it could be. And then, like any sort of test, right? You kind of get something out there. You start trying to see, are people navigating the site correctly? Where are people clicking? How long do people live on the web page? Do you have things that people want to buy? And I should have looked up how long it took from the actual beginning of typing that first line of code to when they actually published it live. I think maybe it was around like 5-6 months.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Holy cow. That's quick, right?
That is quick. Also considering the number of people that were around at the time, like certainly less than 10.
Now, you said a key word here, and that's frustration. Now, I want to kind of I have a question that I want to kind of move to the top, so to speak. It's at the bottom of my list, and that word is customer service, because it lends to what we're talking about. With that, obviously, there was frustration. And something that we hear, and this is something I think the last couple episodes that we've done, the people that we've interviewed has said the same thing, and that is how good customer service is and how easy that you guys make it to sell on your platform. Is that part of that frustration and what came out of it?
100%. eBay, Amazon, if you have an issue, who are you going to call? You have no idea where to look. Where you hop onto Reverb.com, and if there's an issue, there's a nice orange chat button that comes up. And it's ready. We have a full staff of musicians. You're going to be talking to knowledgeable people who actually understand the issue that you have. Like one of my favorite things is, so Reverb, we offer shipping labels and shipping protection and all that sort of stuff. And one of the things that came up is a buyer called the seller after having received the item, saying that, the finish on this guitar, has faded due to the amount of time it's spent in the back of a hot truck, and the seller, kind of spoke to us because they purchased our shipping protection, and we got our resolutions team involved, and we paid out, the seller, because it was like, that's something that happens. We get it. We understand that is a legit thing that happens with guitars. We understand this issue, and we were able to provide, a great experience for both the buyer and seller in this one instance for something that we know UPS would never do. Try to get on the UPS, it's like, we get it. We're musicians. When you let us know about an issue with your guitar, with the headstock, with anything, we've got you covered because we've seen it before.
Yeah, users from other platforms are probably going, my goodness, I can't get this experience anywhere else.
Absolutely. And I will add to that, we have a number of really, really fantastic sellers. And, they're also the ones doing great customer service. I think it's the rising tide lifts all boats. And because Reverb is just such a great curated experience, we only want the best of the best sellers on the platform who we know are going to offer a great experience. I have 100% confidence that all the Merc dealers who are on the platform also know how to go and take care of their customers within our platform. And we only really need to step in whenever we need to arbitrate something. So it's fantastic. Just the entire experience.
Yeah, so what you're saying is through all this, anybody that is selling on your platform, there's a little button on there that it's a chat button. They can just type in their question, and at their fingertips, they have somebody at any time. Is that accurate?
I'd say about maybe 20 hours out of the day.
Okay.
Working to be 24/7 because since we have people in Amsterdam and we just opened up an office in Japan as well, so we're working 24/7 coverage. But definitely, if you're in the United States, pretty much from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., there'll be someone in the United States office.
So you guys, for the people that are listening out there, they can sell international with you guys. It's not just here in the... Okay. And how long has that been going on?
Day one. And that's the great thing about, we primarily started as a vintage guitar site, and that evolved into, obviously other categories, but no surprise, used is a huge component of what makes Reverb, so successful. And the great thing about used inventory is that it's all unique. And who's to say that the person who wants to buy your guitar doesn't live in Japan or doesn't live in Germany?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is trying to make that connection happen and happen faster. And of course, we have tools to try and make it easier. We have a shipping estimator to let you know how much it should cost to ship to Europe. Again, if you have no idea what to do there, you just hop into that chat box and we will coach you through it. In addition to that, if say you finally do sell your item, you can actually purchase an international shipping label that has all the custom stuff filled out. So
that's easy.
Yeah, as long as you're not selling rosewood, super easy.
Yeah. Actually, I think one of the biggest deals, you guys kind of rolled it out just recently, but your data mining is spectacular. So it's now easier than ever before for somebody to be able to type in, like the example, one of the articles I read, hey, if you want to sell a 72 Gibson Les Paul and Cherry, you can type that in, and now Reverb, because of all the experience and listings you've had, can kind of compile all that and make that easier now than ever. So explain that process and why that's a big deal.
Well, Reverb is, if you are a gearhead and you know instruments, Reverb's always been a fairly easy platform. We give you, the make model fields, you know exactly what you're selling. But try to reach out to that next wave of sellers, maybe someone who is a little bit less familiar with what it is they actually have. Just trying to make it easier for them to put that listing up on Reverb so they can sell it, get that cash, and ideally reinvest it back into something on Reverb. That's the game plan. That's actually a recent change that we made, and it was born from not just presenting data better to potential sellers on the platform, but we also analyze a lot of our data to see, hey, where do people drop off creating a listing? Where do they have some trouble? How can we make this easier for them?
What do you mean drop off?
Think about your own browsing experience. Like say you go to a website, you're reading an article.
Yeah.
I mean, how long are you on the page reading that article? Are you actually reading every single word? Are you skimming and then exiting out? Are you actually reading the ads or clicking through? Like, we built this website from scratch. We have all of that data. And if we know that, hey, these are totally hypothetical numbers, but say, hey, 75% of the people who go to our old listing screen, they stop when they get to price because they have no idea what to put in. Well, it's a no-brainer to figure out a way to let people know what they should price their item at, right?
Oh, gotcha.
So essentially what we created and rolled out, I think around late summer, was just a more unified experience where you can type in that 72 Gibson, in Cherry. We can let you know what it typically sells for on the platform. We fill in all of that metadata for you. We tell you it's an electric guitar, so you don't accidentally put acoustic guitar, things like that. Make it super easy. So all you have to do is take good pictures and write a good description.
Well, on that topic of pictures, that's something that's kind of a quote unquote trigger word with me. But what is some of the things that people that are listening to this that maybe want to, or maybe they've put a few guitars or whatever they're listing on, or maybe they do a ton. What is some of the things that you find that you could share with them that would make it easier and probably sell more? For me, I would say pictures, but you're the professional. Tell us.
So everything comes down to presentation, right? Mm-hmm. I would say the more pictures, the better. You get 25 pictures per listing, and in particular, you need to make sure that you're taking really good pictures of any kind of, the dents or dings in it. And that's more just to prevent any sort of, dispute down the line if, a buyer were to say, hey, you didn't take a picture of this sort of thing. Yeah. But, as we live more and more in this like digital e-commerce world, people are more and more comfortable buying big ticket items online. Mm-hmm. Like my downstairs neighbor, they just purchased a $3,000 sofa online,
my goodness.
Sectional sofa, and they're like, yeah, we never even sat in it, but the reviews were good.
Oh my goodness.
But that 100% applies to Reverb. Like, I'm not gonna lie, even when I started here, I thought, hey, how many people like really buy like guitars online? Like, I feel like I need to play.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, plenty of people have no issues.
Yeah, $1 billion worth, right?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I mean, even from the other side, I mean, I realize this is true of the culture of buying and selling online. I mean, the mattress world has exploded. People buying online and people just giving testament to that. People are just becoming more and more comfortable in trusting platforms that they can buy things that they want to buy. So,
which is why pictures is number one. While someone might not be able to actually hold it and get that feel of the instrument, pictures help tell that story. And frankly, a lot of our buyers, they're sophisticated. They know what that SG should feel like, how heavy it is. It's likely not an impulse purchase.
Sure. And you guys' customer service and probably return stuff makes it easier for them just in case they don't like it. Is that accurate?
100%. The best sellers on Reverb right now are also the ones who understand that component.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away for better or for worse. Amazon has taught us that can't you return everything and get a full refund?
Yeah.
So that's why the better that any seller can go to describe the item that they are selling, it helps optimize the chance that the buyer who does end up purchasing it will be happy.
Okay. And then that goes that goes along with another step that a seller should do. They should not only take good pictures, good presentation, accurate descriptions, but also have a good return policy / warranty policy.
Absolutely. I mean, the best sellers, they apply the same things that work well in their retail operation, should they have one, online. All those things, they work. And I spend so much time coaching sellers on just applying same best practices in store to online.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good return policy. Like, if someone comes back into your store 3 days later, are you really not going to take that return? Are you not going to try and sell them something different instead?
Sure.
Like, it works. It's business 101. Same thing with customer service. Business 101.
So there's a lot of people, obviously in the United States, there's a lot of what I would call smaller towns. And one thing that I hear a lot of is, I'm in a town of only 10,000 people and I don't sell what I used to sell because of, and everybody can list why those reasons are. How can we tell those people, you live in a small community, but the world is at your fingertips by the platform that we're talking about, because now they're a billion customer potential out there instead of 10,000. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it sounds like you just did it for me.
Oh, sorry.
we just put you on payroll.
Well, you can elaborate better than me, so elaborate.
But that's the advantage of just selling online in general. It makes the world smaller and frankly, I think a really, really nice way. It's every single one of those sellers who might voice that frustration, what they also don't quite understand is, everyone creates music. Everyone is making music. Even in that town of 10,000, I'm willing to bet that, a bigger percentage than we're probably willing to give credit to play an instrument. They have a guitar in their house. They have a drum set. They have something going on, and they actually have access to inventory, like checking their local Facebook marketplace. They can go ahead and check Craigslist. That's inventory that they can buy because, frankly, those people likely won't come to Reverb because they're scared to ship, or they don't want to put in the work to figure that out. There is opportunity there, and then the opportunity for the seller is then to go and get that inventory in the hands of someone that lives in New York City or someone that lives down in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Or someone else that lives in a 10,000 person town all the way in Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had seen. I saw a statistic recently that I think the global used market in 2017 was like $20 billion. It was just astronomical.
Wow.
And you got to think about now that Reverb is now creating the opportunity for just about anybody to join in on that global market. So it makes it easy, it makes it doable, and like you keep saying, you keep trying to make it as easy as possible for these people to join in. More and more people just have to understand how easy it is, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality is, retailers can also play a more active role. Like, we have, the best retailers in the United States, they're on Reverb, and they get it. one of the biggest opportunities for them is to go and start looking in their local communities to see where there are other people who, aren't going to find Reverb. Like that's an opportunity for them to source that inventory. They can throw it up on their walls. They can throw it up on Reverb. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to collect market share, right? All these retailers should be thinking the more inventory, the better. The most important thing you can do on Reverb is list, and list consistently. And the way that I kind of metaphor I give to retailers who aren't quite getting it is, like say you open up a new brick and mortar location and you put 10 items in it. How long do you think that business is going to be around?
Yeah,
not very long.
Location with just 10 items, like don't treat Reverb any different. So great, say you start with 1,000 items, but now after 5 months you've sold all the good stuff, and now all you got left is the crap that nobody really wants. It might be overpriced, or maybe you have, like you paid too much for it. It's like, well, that business is also going to go out.
Yeah.
You got to keep on bringing in that new stuff, because that's what brings people not only back to your brick and mortar location, but it's what brings people back to your Reverb shop.
Yes.
It's business one. It applies.
You actually said something interesting. You said you need to list, and list. If a lot of people probably have a lot of questions on the whole the bumping your listings, which I know I'm in conversations a lot of times with our clients that talk about bump. Is it beneficial? Is it not beneficial?
So what I always tell sellers whenever they're questioning bump, it's an advanced marketing cost. The idea behind it is you're going to contribute extra margin for increased sell-through. It should be a business decision that you make. And if you have the margin on it and you want to start doing more and more volume, bumping is the only way to go. Unless you're going to price dirt cheap, in which case, people will find that inventory, right? But the reality is, we do also have 1 million listings on our platform. And while that is a great thing for consumers, because it means that they have 1 million different items that they can possibly choose to purchase from. That's where it becomes a little bit more difficult for sellers to separate themselves from their competitors on the platform. Bump is one of the only tools that we currently have available to give those sellers that additional exposure to make sure that they're secure a piece of it, secure a sale over one of their competitors. So kind of the two examples I use here is, particularly with brand new, we're in a place where, because we have maps in the United States, how many sellers are selling the same exact guitar, using the same exact photos, using the same exact description at the same exact price. Literally all you're banking on is trying to be the first listing that a buyer clicks on, because there's zero differentiation between the two, or between on the platform. Bump is going to be that tool to make sure that you're able to get that sale over your competitors. Okay. And then youth inventory, I highly recommend it, particularly for crowded, categories, electric guitars, pedals, because we have probably well over several thousand used Fender American Tellies made, made in the early part of this decade, right? What makes yours? And in that case, you want to make sure that your listing is one of the first, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's basic business 101. Like if there's a Walmart, on your way to go get groceries before you get to the Target, well, you're probably going to go into the Walmart first, right?
Yeah.
They're advertising. But then, with a big old billboard. Same thing, unless you're like a hardcore, Target advocate.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Which my wife is.
Yeah. I'm not. But anyways, hey, let's go back a little bit and talk about the difference with the online and the people that sell brick and mortar. Because one thing that I try to communicate with people that own brick and mortar, and I've often said this and said, if I owned a music store, everything I owned would be online as well. Because I think a lot of times we feel like we need to put our heels in the dirt and just be brick and mortar. And we have a lot of people that are not embracing new platforms and new eras, a younger generation and stuff like that. I think you guys have done a great job making it easy, acceptable, fun. There's a lot of things there. But talk to us for a minute and talk to those dealers that are on the fence and they really want to list things online, but they're nervous, they're scared, they haven't done it. They might be an age that technology scares them a little bit. Help us out with that.
That's it right there. One of the most frustrating parts of this job is when I talk to a retailer who does get it, where they want to sell online, they want to be a part of this, they know that they need to, evolve the way they're doing business, but they don't have the technical capability. And I don't even mean like, their own actual understanding of it, like I don't have an intimate knowledge of how computers work. I trust that they work though, right? It's not that. It's a lot of these retailers are married to really old tech, right?
Yes.
The best sellers on our platform are the ones who have upgraded their POS, within the past 5 years, because they know that that's going to be the investment that's going to carry them through the next 20 years. So number of sellers who are so afraid to invest in technology for themselves, for their actual business, like on some level, like that's not scalable. The number of dealers I talk to who still write things on paper invoices, like that's not the sign of a successful 21st century business.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So I try and have as many conversations just preaching the importance of, maybe you invested in tech 20 years ago and it still works, it's kind of like the devil at that point. The reality is a lot of that older software hasn't been optimized or hell, even updated, by today's standards, right? I hate to be kind of a naysayer, but I've seen many stores close permanently because they'll say, "Hey, we didn't adjust our business model to incorporate online sales." Not just Reverb, just
yeah.
And I've seen a number of businesses tell me, "Hey, we're only around because of a service like Reverb."
Really?
It's because they made the business investment, in themselves as an operation to grow and scale, right? And again, the metaphor I use here is like, 20 years ago, if you bought a guitar, you changed the strings on it, right? Imagine if you didn't. You probably had that real nasty tinny sound. You've probably gotten tetanus a handful of times, So like you changing strings, you probably don't even have fingers.
Yeah.
But like you changing strings is just like a cost of playing guitar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Being a retailer in the 21st century, investing in your tech that you use in store is a cost of doing business at this point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I will have that conversation with everyone who wants to have it. It's the most important thing that they can do.
Well, you actually have been here before and did a seminar on even the ease of doing listings with your phone. So, I mean, we're there. So if they don't even if they don't have computers and great cameras, you're obviously going through store owners going, "Hey, man, do you have an iPhone? Do you have any kind of phone with a camera? You can pull it up, you can sell it, and you can sell it."
This is stronger than a handful of computers that I know some dealers are using.
Yeah. And they're taking great pictures today. I mean, some of these phones that have the greatest cameras ever.
And you're totally right, Nate. I have all these little metaphors just to make everything as digestible as possible for these retailers, And the way that I look at listings, it's like I look at it like weight loss. Sure, my doctor told me I need to lose 20 pounds, right? I'm not losing weight by continuing to eat the same stuff I eat every night and not exercising. If I want to lose weight, I know.
And you're making me feel kind of weird right now. Can we talk about something else?
But the reality is, if you want to get good at something, you have to allocate time to it, right?
Yes.
Like sometimes I have a very hard time having the same conversation with retailers who understand they need to make time, to create listings to be successful on Reverb, but then actually don't make the time.
Yeah.
Like we tell retailers all the time, like get into work 30 minutes early, and tell yourself, I got to get 4 listings up. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, like you have to make time. If I'm going to lose weight, I got to exercise. That means I got to wake up at 5 o'clock so I can go for a quick jog, like nothing just happens.
Something that on that topic where you talk about getting to work earlier and get listing done, you're speaking in a very proactive way. And one thing that I know I have seen the struggle be over the last generation or so is the typical music store. I'm getting a little bit of delay or feedback in here, but hopefully you can hear me. Is that they are so used to customers coming into the the store that no longer do they realize that they have to go reach out and get customers.
Absolutely.
What you're talking about is being proactive and saying, hey, make something happen. Don't wait for it to happen, but make something happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's that proactive spirit that frankly the best sellers on Reverb have, and a lot of retailers want to know, like, man, what could I be doing more of? What could I be doing more of? And it's that word.
Yeah.
It's being, you see the opportunity. You all are smart business people. You've been around for, decades, and I'm sure you've weathered some sort of transition once or twice in your life. This is just the next one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The difference is I have an entire team of people who are willing to help in any way humanly possible to make that a reality for you.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is you guys are making it an easy transition.
Oh, yeah.
You're making it that this should be, and again, I look at everything in certain ways. Reverb should be a profit center for businesses. An additional profit center, because again, we're reaching outside of our town, our community, into a global market, and to capture that audience of people out there is huge. So instead of put our feet in the dirt and drag our heels, we need to run towards you guys. And I think you guys are making it so easy, so acceptable, and in a lot of ways a great experience. That's what I hear.
Yeah, I'm so happy you hear it. And you know what? It is going to, it's visiting Merck during Summer NAMM. It's going to Winter NAMM, and we set up dealer meetings, and just meeting everyone just face to face and hearing it from them is inspiring. It makes coming back to the cold Chicago winter where it's 20 degrees outside, and it makes this building feel warmer. Reverb, we're not where we still want to be. We still have so much more to offer the community. We are just getting started in terms of what we're able to do for this industry. But I trust that we have built enough goodwill in this industry. I know early on when we came to the scene, people thought that we would, we were going to make the pie smaller. And I think after 5-6 years, people have seen we're actually making the pie bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other side too is you guys are really reaching out for people to come and join on your platform as buyers, and retailers have got to understand that how much you guys are trying to get people to come to that. They've got to, latch onto that and embrace that and say, wow, look what Reverb's doing. They're bringing tons of people into my store.
Yeah. We have anywhere between 11, 12 million, last I checked, unique visitors visiting a month.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
My goodness.
If your website or your actual store gets that much traffic, good on you.
Good job.
Yeah.
But for what it's worth, that's what we're trying to. That's the value that we're adding to it. And frankly, we run on slimmer margins than all the retailers. At 3.5%. We are trying to make a little bit go a long way.
Yeah.
And again, it's a community where we're grateful for all the sellers who took a chance with us early on and who continue to join now and continue to use us, and all the buyers who we find are making, not their first purchase, but their 10th, who maybe decide to spend $100,000 this calendar year, which I envy those people.
Yeah, me too.
So it's been a great experience, and going back to the beginning, I've been here for 3 years. I can only imagine what the next 3 years will bring.
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked a lot about the stuff that you do with the mainstay of stuff, and that's selling product and creating that platform. But I also view you guys as a destination place, meaning you guys do cool articles, product reviews. Tell us what else you guys do, because every musician, even if you're not in the market to buy something, should visit you guys because there's cool content in there.
Content has just been a huge part of what's made us, what we are. I'm just trying the best way to figure it out. It's always, I find that our content is a nice mix of, I know you like this, here's more of it, and hey, by the way, you should check out this thing as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking into synths now more than I ever have in my life, and I'm a piano player. That was my original instrument. So I never got synths though because I hated the way they felt on my hand. I wanted something that was like a fully weighted keyboard. That was me, kind of a snob.
Yeah.
but now it's like we got synths around the office. I'm playing with new things. I'm like, oh man, like this was kind of thrown in the middle of an email I got from Reverb about Stuart Copeland.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm gonna see learn about one of the best drummers of I think one of the best drummers of all time.
Great
now,
drummer.
like I'm looking at great drummer. And now I'm looking at some great synth content, and that is just such a big part of the strategy. Is also trying to understand where do we need to grow awareness. Anyone can figure this out. You can go to Reverb and you can see we have X number of listings in these categories. And for Reverb to have the impact we have, we want to speak to all musicians.
Yeah.
We don't want to just be a guitar website. So I at least can feel like from a firsthand experience. Here I am as a bass player as well. Primarily just reading a lot of the guitar pedals and effect content. Now just being sucked into something else because I love the way Reverb presents this information.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a destination place. All musicians should go to Reverb. Yeah,
absolutely. And and frankly, in many ways, I feel like we can be doing more. I'm not part of the content team, so I don't want to go in there and dictate their strategy based off of what I'd like to see.
Let's do it. The heck with them.
They don't know what to do.
Nah,
right?
Yeah.
Hey, whose idea was it to, man, I thought it was creative to have either artists or band pages selling their personal gear. I mean, who came up with that idea and who was the first band or person to do it?
Oh, gosh. Man, I do not know. I do not know who the first band was. I know that we just have such a steady stream of them at this point that, like when we did Moby, I thought that would just kind of blew my mind. We had like all of his old, synths and things like that. And then we also had a bunch of his LPs as well. So we just recently launched, a vinyl marketplace.
Yeah.
So here we were able to push, Moby's old synths and then also go and sell his record collection. I just thought like, God, that's
awesome.
Insane that we can do something like this.
Yeah.
Now, how's the records doing? Talk about that for just a sec.
It's doing great. It's so much fun. And I'll be honest, I'm not a record person. I need headphones and I need this thing to travel with me everywhere I go. But I found particularly like with young children, like I'm getting them into the habit of sitting down and listening and appreciating and dancing to music. And, like my daughter can't tell me, oh, go put on Taylor Swift for, the 50th time today. It's like, no. We're going to sit down and we're going to listen to, Simon and Garfunkel's greatest hits, and then we will sing Feeling Groovy together like a family.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
Yeah, it's been really nice, like from that aspect. But, we've, it's been a great holiday season. The number of people who we see just coming from Reverb.com and deciding to make an LP purchase as well. It's really, really exciting. That's only been open for about a year now. And, I know that our best years are ahead of us, but it's been one hell of a journey to kind of go down alongside Reverb.com.
So what else do you guys got going on? What else are you guys working on? Anything cool? Anything fun? Or they got you tight-lipped over there?
Tight-lipped enough. I mean, to be honest, we're getting ready for NAMM right now. We have the holidays, and then we have NAMM. So, the months of November, December, January I kind of consider it our playoffs. It's like we go through the season, but we need to make sure that we have enough energy for right now, in addition to all of our rest of life responsibilities like traveling, visiting family. Still stay focused, come in, do the holidays, and then do NAMM, which is always just such an experience. I had never been prior to working at Reverb, so after that, I'm probably going to pass out for a week.
Yeah.
Well, I kicked it off last year good with you because I was a first appointment.
And I think I was late because I had to go park the car in the rain or something.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Well, I'll get with you next week as a sidebar, and we'll nail down a time for January. Actually, Nate's going to be there,
and so is Ian.
And Ian back there doing all the hard, heavy lifting is going to be with us as well.
I didn't think you liked Ian enough to bring him.
Hey, he can hear this.
Yeah, that's good.
No, that's awesome.
Hey, there's obviously to covering everything about Reverb and where you're going forward, we have to at least stop and admit you guys hit a huge milestone lately. Why don't you tell us what that is?
Yeah, so we have sold over $1 billion worth of music gear on our
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
A billion. You said a
crazy.
billion with a B, right?
$1 billion.
Congratulations. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're just hoping that the next billion comes in a fraction of the time.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You guys did it in 5 or 6 years, you say?
Yeah,
That's
so,
insane, man.
It really is, and again, like, I'd never worked at a startup before, like a really kind of fast growing company like this. I came from the music industry where I was licensing music for TV shows and commercials and things like that. So to move from music publishing record label side to this, and then really be a part of like on the ground, like starting from scratch, seeing how much we were selling in a day to like what we're selling now, and it's like, wow. Like, it's humbling. It really is incredibly humbling, and I'm grateful.
Man,
for the
congratulations.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, how many people you guys got up there now?
Whew, actually, we chain the developers to their desks, so they kind of work 24 hours a day. So that, I think we're just under 200 globally.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, we have maybe like 170 or so in this office. We have like another 10, 15 in Amsterdam, and then we have a handful in our Japan office. And then we have a couple people just kind of working remotely, like in Australia, in Germany, things like that.
What was the main thought behind opening a spot in Amsterdam and Japan?
I mean, at the end of the day, we're an American company. And while, yes, the United States is, the largest country for retail, there's so much opportunity around there. And I don't want to pretend for a second that I know what French people need to see or hear, how to be communicated to in order to sell and purchase on the platform, So it's smart that we go establish a base of operations in that time zone with people who can literally speak the language. But to actually understand the different market trends in those territories, because it's different. Japan has taught us that. Japan is a vastly different country than the United States. And there's a lot. Mm-hmm.
Well, I was sorry to cut you off. I was going to say that they love vintage gear, don't they?
You can walk down the street in Tokyo, and you will literally walk by 100,000 vintage guitars.
Really?
It is a magical place. And I've not been. I've only heard stories and seen pictures, and I'm like, I cannot wait to go. We should open an office in Japan so I can go. And that was the reason why we made that decision.
Yeah.
That's funny. So share with us for a second, and this may be a kind of a hard question to answer, but what is one of the number one SKUs that you sell on Reverb? Electrics, acoustics? I mean, what is that?
I always tell retail all the time. They ask that question. And it's the same stuff that sells well in store.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's kazoos.
Yeah, it's kazoos. It's multicolored. The corn of the kazoo.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, your Fender American Tellies, Strats. It's going to be your Ditto loopers. It really is not a surprise. What we do see in terms of trends. And by the way, all the sellers listening to this are likely Reverb preferred sellers, and we send out a seller newsletter about every 4 or 6 weeks, and we do have a nice little section there talking about different market trends that we've seen.
Yeah.
So that's just a great place to get continual information like this moving forward. But looking into the keys and synth commuting, making sure that Euro racks are kind of like this new hot fad.
Yeah.
That's been for a few years now, and it's still going strong. It's little things like that, really kind of niche, sub product category types. Like, wow, why is that doing really, really well?
Yeah.
Anything from pedals and effects, electric guitars. I'm not gonna tell you anything that's gonna surprise you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was hoping something, but it sounds like it's the same old, right?
mean, there's a reason why they're blue chip brands, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You got me in there. Well, what else do you want to share with us, or is there anything you want to, anybody listening out there, any message you want to get to them, or anything? I mean, we've talked a lot about customer service, ease of operation, product to sell on there. We've covered a ton of things. Of course, we've skimmed over it, but the one thing that I'll go over again is the ease of using your guys' platform and also to communicate with you. But what else did we not cover that you need to cover in this podcast?
I would say for the retailers who are listening, and hell, even an individual seller who's listening, it comes down to accountability. You know, you're going to get what you put into it here. And the one thing I like to tell any retailer is, you need to assign someone to Reverb success. You need to make someone accountable for it. You know, someone who you can say, listen, you know, part-time college student who's here, who's home, I'm going to pay you, you know, $10 an hour. And what I need you to do is put up 10 listings on Reverb every hour. Yeah. That is your goal. That is what success is. At the end of 2 hours, it's pretty binary. You got 20 listings up, or do you not?
Yeah.
All right. You've only got up there. Sounds like you need to find a new intern. Like, you need to dedicate someone to your Reverb success, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that is, again, just going back to Business 101. A lot of people are just so fixated on winning the Super Bowl that they forget that what you need to get are just a handful of first downs right now. And that begins with listings. Establish a process, something that you can hold yourself accountable for. Don't think about the Super Bowl. Think about winning this game. Think about getting the touchdown. Think about getting your first down.
Yeah.
You know,
very true. Very true.
The good thing about Reverb is it seems like, you know, if we're going to make a reference to What About Bob, you know, it's about baby steps. And Reverb kind of, it's a great movie. Actually, I hate that movie because I want to hit him in the face with a 2x4 the entire movie. But anyways, it is baby steps, and Reverb kind of helps you go, okay, listen, this isn't a huge deal. You guys can take your first step, take some pictures. Guess what? Get some pictures. We'll even help you edit them and crop them within the program, within the software, and it just makes it easier to take the next step. And man, you guys have been perfect at that.
Yeah, and you know what? Open offer to anyone listening to this. Just email seb@reverb.com, STB@reverb.com, and either myself or someone on my team will respond to you and just give you, you know, like a quick consultation on what things you could be doing to optimize your presence on the platform. Yeah. It is what my team is here to do. That offer is available 24/7. All right. Well, maybe not.
Or 27.
Yeah, you know, but to help you grow, this is where, you know, I want to invest my team's resources and make sure that you guys are able to optimize, you know, your time on the site and help grow, you know, your business.
Yes. Well, Seb, we appreciate you immensely.
Absolutely.
You're a rock star in our book.
Yeah.
Reverb, I love you guys. We are going to send people Seb at reverb.com. Get ready. Hopefully we'll invade your inbox. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing. But you've been there long enough, you could just kind of pass them on. You can let other people do it. So, no, I'm just kidding. You've been very helpful. All of our customers that are listening need to send that email. That's the first thing. Take some action. Send the email. Get started. Make sure that at the end of this year and also in 2019 that you are on Reverb, you are active, you are making money. There's tons of money out there that is available. And I always tell the salesman, somebody's buying a guitar right now, but are they buying it with you? And I think we can extend that out, and everybody needs to hear that, because you may be in a small community, you may have a small network, but you guys are global. You guys are huge. You guys are the ones that are helping people go to the next level.
That's right.
And so everybody needs to get on board with you. So we appreciate you. We'll see you in a month and change.
Over a month.
I'm excited about that.
Too, man. It'll be a good time. We should go. Maybe we should do like a lunch meeting instead.
Great.
Meeting.
That's the best idea yet. It's all about food, baby. All right. Good seeing you, Seb. I appreciate it. We'll get with you next week, and we'll nail down a date.
That sounds good, my friend.
Nate's going to close us out here.
Yep, absolutely, Seb. We appreciate it. We've always been huge champions of Reverb here with everything we do. But, man, Richard, great episode. Man, I think a lot of people will gather a lot of information from what we've talked about today. So,
I agree.
Appreciate it. Seb, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, man. Peace out.